San Francisco DA won't release police body cam video, 911 calls from Paul Pelosi's attack. It makes you wonder because there's so many questions, so many unanswered questions. Their story that the police department said doesn't make sense. And so it makes you wonder, why won't they release this information to answer people's questions? There's so many unanswered questions here. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. When you hit that alarm bell, you can change it from personal to all. That way you get all the notifications from when I put out stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my Instagram where I put out tons of news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. San Francisco top prosecutor confirmed Wednesday her office will not release police body camera footage of 911 calls from the alleged Paul Pelosi attack late last week. Authorities said that David DePape, or DePape, however you pronounce his name, allegedly broke into the San Francisco home of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her husband Paul during the early morning hours of October 28th, according to court documents, before he allegedly struck Pelosi with a hammer. No security camera footage, police body cam footage, or 911 calls have been released. When pressed about releasing more evidence in the case, San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins told NBC News that her office will not. Quote, "Are you planning to release the 911 call or any body camera video from Paul Pelosi attack?" asked NBC Kristen Welker on Wednesday. Quote, "Not at this time," replied Jenkins. Quote, "We're going to find out today the speed at which this case will proceed once he's arraigned. We'll make decisions about that, of what evidence gets played in court during any hearings or during the trial," Jenkins added. Why? That's the question. Why aren't you releasing this stuff? You know, people have all types of theories about what really went down. But instead of quelling those theories and releasing the information, they decided against it. I mean, it's so many questions. Like, for one that come to mind, he was in the bathroom, locked in the bathroom, supposedly with his cell phone when he called the police. Why would he leave Why would he leave the bathroom with the guy and open the door? Like, I mean, it's so many unanswered questions. It then the story that they told us does not make any logical sense whatsoever. If someone is in your house about to attack you and you were locked in the bathroom, why would you come out in the first place? The San Francisco Police Department denied a public records request from the Epoch Times for body camera footage from the officers who responded to the Pelosi home, stating that, quote, "disclosure of information may endanger successful completion of this investigation." Since when? There people been releasing stuff like this before on tons of other incidences, but you're not going to release this? They're hiding something. What are they hiding? That's why people have so many theories about what's going on and what really the guy was really doing in the house. Because if they release this information, then maybe it'll prove some of these theories correct. A request for the 911 call and the police incident report are pending. According to court documents, prosecutors said that DePape allegedly told investigators that he was on, quote, "a suicide mission," and sought to break Speaker Pelosi's kneecaps, although she was not there at the time of the attack. DePape pleaded not guilty in a state court on Tuesday. Quote, "I'm sick of the insane level of lies coming out of Washington, D.C. I came here to have a little chat with his wife," DePape also allegedly told officials, adding, quote, "I didn't really want to hurt him, but this was a suicide mission. I'm not going to stand here and do nothing, even if it costs me my life," according to documents. The U.S. Capitol Police also wrote on November 2nd that it was cameras at the Pelosi home, but said they weren't being monitored when DePape entered the residence. The agency said cameras aren't actively monitored unless Nancy Pelosi is at home. So the thing is, when Nancy Pelosi's not home, they don't monitor it. So who knows what goes on when Nancy Pelosi not home? I think that's the real reason why they don't monitor it. Y'all know what most people think is going on here with Paul Pelosi. It's been whispers about his sexual orientation and things of that nature. But authorities at the USCP's command center didn't see anything unusual at the Pelosi's home until they noticed police activities. While Democrat officials have claimed that the Pappy was a right wing radical, his neighbors and the mother of his children painted a different picture. Of course, they're going to, as soon as something like this happens, they're going to blame MAGA, right wing, and all this other stuff when we don't have any evidence to that. On Wednesday evening, President Joe Biden, in a midterm stump speech, tied alleged threats to U.S. institutions to the attack targeting Pelosi's longtime husband. Independent Michael Schellenberger wrote that he went to the alleged former home of DePape in Berkeley, a city located near San Francisco that has long been a center of left-wing activism. And this is Berkeley, California, the most leftist place, I believe, in the United States. You telling me that they did happen to have a MAGA guy living in the most leftist part of the United States? Be for real. Be for real. Quote, and as I discovered yesterday, DePape lived with a notorious local nudist in Berkeley home. What MAGA person are people or right wing people are nudists? Does that sound like a right wing person to me? Complete with the Black Lives Matter sign. What conservative, what right wing person, what MAGA person has a Black Lives Matter sign? See, none of this stuff makes sense. In the window, and an LGBT rainbow flag, which raised even more questions, to with people, the theory that he was there doing some LGBT stuff there with Paul Pelosi, because he has the rainbow flag there, emblazoned with a marijuana symbol hanging from a tree. A closer look reveals the characteristics of a homeless encampment, he wrote in a Substack article. So none of this makes any sense. And the media immediately jumped to him being to some right wing guy that wanted to hurt Nancy Pelosi. He may wanted to hurt Nancy Pelosi. All that may be true, but that doesn't prove that he's some right wing MAGA person, because all the evidence that we see so far, that we know so far, does not point to that at all. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.